Here's a 19-inch mag LCD monitor that they told me it wasn't turning on anymore. This is a LT917S, made in August 2006, and check out what it does. Wow, that thing's hissing like crazy. I'm going to say bad caps on this one, but I'll find out when I take the back off. Looks like the base just snaps in with these two big buttons that lock into these holes here. And so far I've seen 4 screws along the bottom edge of the monitor. Now for the fun part. That one wasn't too bad actually. Once the screws are out, you just push the bezel towards the top of the monitor and it unlocks off these slots. Wish I'd have known that before I started pulling on it like I would on a normal monitor. This one was not a snap in place type. So now I just got to take these 6 screws off the LCD itself and lift it out of the casing. Here's what the monitor looks like with the screen removed. It's a Samsung panel. You can see where the LVDS connector was and where the CFLs plug in. They got a impressively thick metal cover over the electronics on this monitor. Too bad they didn't use good quality caps when they built it. Could have lasted longer. So now I got to take these screws out, get this cover off, and see how bad the damage is. Looks like they crammed it in here pretty good. Alright. No visible burn marks on the back side at least. It's probably just the usual crappy capacitors. We'll pull the board and find out. Yes, the classic bulging capacitors. These are those crappy Fuji U capacitors that I've seen in a lot of other computer components. All the guys on the capacitors forum call them FU capacitors because they're always bad. FUHJYYU. It looks like there's some Suscon capacitors on here as well. Let's see, what are these? 680 microfarad, 25 volt. Probably gonna have to order these in, but I'm all but certain this monitor is gonna work perfectly after I get these changed out. Okay, got the new caps in today from Mauser Electronics. All the larger ones are Nichicon PW series, power supply rated with long life and high temperature, all that good stuff. And these 2 small ones here are United Chemicon KZE series. And those are to replace these 2 little 10 microfarad ones. Soldering equipment is ready, and let me get these things changed. 10 minutes later, all the new Japanese caps are installed. Here's the old ones that came out of it. It was a mixture of cheap caps. These, wish I could get a good picture of these. These are those Fuji U caps, and these brown ones here are Suscon, all known to be crap basically. I decided to replace all the caps on the main board as well because they're almost always out of tolerance, especially when the power supply goes bad like that. I only had one that was too tall to fit and I had to lay it on its side. I really need to remember to order in the 16 volt 220 microfarad in that smaller size. I had to use a 35 volt and that's why it's laying sideways like that. But I think I'm about ready to start putting this back together finally. Let's see what it does before I bother putting all the screws back in. That's promising. No more hissing noise, and I got my standby light. I'm going to go ahead and put it together since it's not hard to take back apart and try it on a computer. Well, it works just like it should. The picture's nice and bright. I'm not running it at its native resolution yet. It's just plugged into that spamware filled HP over there that I haven't formatted. Now I can clean the screen and put the bezel back on, test it for a while, and then I can get it the hell out of here.